If you've ever felt like your mechanic is taking you for a ride, you are most definitely not alone. In a recent survey by the website AutoMD.com, 88% of car owners said that they felt ripped off at the repair shop. Consumer correspondent Susan Koeppen is here this morning with an early show investigation. Good morning.
Good morning, Maggie. We teamed up with AutoMD and we went undercover to see what would happen when we took cars to repair shops. We had 2 cars that needed new brake pads, and according to AutoMD, that should cost about $180. So keep that in mind as you see what happened as we traveled across the country.
Our cross-country journey began in Los Angeles with the purchase of 2 identical cars. Both were inspected by a mechanic and given clean bills of health, except the brake pads.
We ground them down, so they had about, 2,000 miles left on them.
An easy problem for a mechanic to spot and fix.
True or false, most consumers have no idea if they're getting ripped off if they bring their car in for a repair.
True.
Shane Evangelist is with AutoMD, a website that helps consumers diagnose problems with their cars and gives information on how much it should cost to fix them.
It is clear that there's work being done that doesn't need to be done, and people are getting overcharged for the work that does need to be done.
So we hit the road with mechanics behind the wheel of each car and headed from LA to the Lone Star State into Dallas, Texas. Here's what happened at a dealership.
But the main concern here is, looks like you just need some brakes.
The mechanic wanted to fix the brakes, but he also gave us a laundry list of additional repairs we supposedly needed.
He's got $219.95 for the brakes, $54.75 for the diagnosis, $39.95 for a set of wiper blades, $130 on the injector flush, $70 on the fuel filter, and $100 on the coolant flush.
Total price, $614.
To me, they're taking money out of your pocket. Just that simple.
We went to 4 more shops in Dallas. Each mechanic gave us a different set of problems and prices. Next, we moved on to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
We have to take it out.
This mechanic wanted to charge us $320 for repairs, but he never even removed the tires to check for a problem.
This part here should be about that thick.
But this mechanic pointed out the bad brake pads and offered to fix them for a reasonable rate, $169. Our final destination was the Big Apple, where we got the best quote of the trip.
You're $160.
160?
Yeah. All you really need now is pads. That's what you need.
But a different story at this dealership.
Okay.
They charged us $119 just to diagnose our problem without even fixing it.
So this is flabbergasting to me. They did get your $120 on a job that should have cost $180 to get completed, yet you still have bad brakes.
Hello, how are you?
And then there was this guy.
Maybe 1,000 miles left on that.
Who wanted to replace both the front and back brakes. A $400 repair bill.
And I can guarantee you that you won't get a better price than that anyway around here. Guaranteed.
He showed me the back brakes and showed me what was wrong.
Susan, there is nothing wrong with those brakes.
100% positive.
I am 100% positive.
By the end of our trip, only 3 of the 13 shops we visited gave us a quote for just replacing the brake pads for a price at or below the industry average.
So some really honest repair shops out there. Unfortunately, from what we found, is it's sort of the minority.
And to make sure nothing happened to our cars during that trip, we had mechanics drive the cars cross country, and we had them inspected at the beginning and then again at the end of the trip. Maggie.
If a mechanic would have shown me the brakes and told me, look, something's wrong, I would have believed it too.
He brought us right in and was shocked. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know anything about cars. I guess that's where we should start. We should be more educated as consumers.
Absolutely. So there are a few things that you can do to up your chances of getting a good deal. First of all, if they say something needs to be replaced, ask for your old parts back. They'll be a little reluctant to give you parts that aren't damaged, okay? Second, check out that estimate. Look online, sites like AutoMD, you can find out what the estimate, how much it should cost, parts and labor, and then negotiate that price. Negotiate the repair price that the mechanic is giving you.
I knew you were going to say that because you are like the #1 advocate in the country for negotiating. That's my polite way of calling you cheap. But for auto repairs, it really works to negotiate?
You know, AutoMD did the same experiment. They went to 6 600 different shops, and 65% of the time, when they tried to negotiate for a better price, they got one.
65% of the
That's
time.
right.
And if you don't know anything about cars like us,
Pretend you do.
Got it. Susan Koeppen, thank you very much.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.